Hey everybody, Mike B back here with another video. I got a lot of really good feedback from the helmet video I did on the World War II German M35 helmet on the right side. And people also like the World War I German helmet on the left side, which is the Model 16. So a weird question that a lot of people who aren't really into helmets and stuff ask is like, what is the actual difference between the two models? Because at certain reenacting events that I've been to, the helmet on the left was banned because it was too similar and just exactly the same as the one on the right. So I was trying to figure out how people could get them confused, but I suppose if you're not really into helmets and you don't pay attention to details too much, which is like pretty normal, I do the same thing on a lot of things that I'm not familiar with, like cars and stuff. It could be construed as like almost the same helmet. But if you look a little bit closer, which I'm going to try to illustrate in this video, you tell that there's a lot of very prominent differences. Really, the only thing that's similar is the overall idea of having a skirt that goes around like the neck. So we'll start with the Model 16, right? You'll notice right away, these are both size 66 shells. Or is the one on the, I think the one on the right's a 68. It might be a 66. Anyway, they're they're designed to be fitting differently. So again, the M35 on the right is a very low profile compared to the one on the left. The one on the left is supposed to be fitting tighter to the head, but it's got a huge profile on it. You can see the skirt is like 1.5 times the size of the skirt on the Model 35. So it's pretty obvious right there that that's not a World War II quote unquote Nazi helmet. Yeah, just because it has a swastika on it means a Nazi wore this. No, it's probably just a German soldier because that's an army decal. But that if this isn't about total politics like they made it in the reenactment hobby. But anyway, so the Model 16 has got that huge skirt on it versus the M35, right? Now that you can see it side by side. Notice right away too, the visor is about, 1.5, it sticks out about 1.5 times the length that the M35 sticks out. You can see that right there. It's a very big visor. It's also got the little bead on the outside, right, where they curled the rim underneath itself. The M35, they did that, but it doesn't have the outside little roll on it, right? Now, one of the biggest features that you should probably be able to see from a long ways away, way away, geez, I said ways, giving into the broken English, is these Frankenstein lugs, as they're called, on the sides, right? Obviously, the M35 doesn't have those, right? It's just got the air vents, right, which is a separate piece, which is indicative of the Model 35. We'll get into other German helmet models at a later date, but you'll notice that the one on the left, the World War I, the Model 16, has the huge lugs on it. The other one doesn't. These are just liner rivets. They're liner pins, rather, that hold them on, but they don't have those big lugs sticking out. So that's two very, very easy ways, or maybe more than two, I don't know. I'm kind of losing track of how many things I'm pointing out here. Ways to tell these two apart, right? Basically, no World War I German helmet is going to have decals on it, unless it was done during the Weimar Republic days, or it was a transitional helmet in which it will not have the same liner. It'll be also painted most likely Feldgrau or some other later color. This is kind of a color that it would have been painted during the First World War, right? This kind of olive drab. It's got kind of a shiny glisten to it because the originals were, they had boiled linseed oil in the paint. And yeah, anyway, I'm getting off on little details there. The color really isn't totally indicative. Anyway, you can just see that it's generally bigger, right? These are the same size shells, right? According to, like, they fit me. These are my size, and I have a big melon. But you can see, obviously, the one on the left is huge, and the one on the right, although the same size, is much lower profile. Skirt's not as big, and it doesn't look like as medieval, right? It's more of that Stahlhelm appeal, or the Nazi Stahlhelm appeal. That's the original Stahlhelm, right? That's the one that your Uncle Adolf really liked a lot, and that's why he had it on his wound badge. That's like all the old school hardcore Nazis that were in the First World War liked that, and that's why they said when they needed a new helmet design, just make a smaller version and more compact of the Stahlhelm. We don't want to get away from that old school, Imperial German might look. And that's why, like, the Model 44, which later became the East German Model 56, was denied towards the end of the war because it detracted too far from the original Stahlhelm design, right? So yeah, those are some differences. I'm just going to kind of like talk and let you guys pick out the details that you can see that are different. And obviously this should help you. They're about the same weight, to be honest. Even though that one's bigger, it's made out of a lighter kind of metal, I think, or maybe it's just an illusion. I don't know. Both of them have leather chin straps, but again, here's another way to tell that it's World War One. Big old rivet right there for the chin strap post, right? These don't have the posts because the liner, or I'm sorry, the chin strap attaches directly to the liner. And you can also see that, like, I'll try to get it as even as possible. It's just a longer helmet. Like it goes out and juts out farther in the front than the World War II design. The skirt, the kind of downward slope is basically the same, but they are different, as you can see. I'm just going to let you look at this yourself and decide for yourself how similar they are or how different they are. I think they're very different, and it's very easy for me to tell which is which if I pick it up at an antique shop or a gun show or whatever. So, again, this one's been restored by me, but I restored it to as original as I could possibly get. Somebody said that this looked gray in another video, in the other video. Sorry about that. Hopefully this will illustrate a little bit better what the actual color was. I did copy this off of an original example, so it is correct. There were a bunch of different shades of colors, but they were all this relative kind of duck hunter green in the First World War. So, yeah. Hopefully this was educational a little bit and gave you a really good side-by-side view of, what the First World War Model 16 on the left looks like versus the one on the right and how actually different they are. They're really not the same helmet at all. Just the overall idea and the overall appearance, at a glance is very similar, but they're two very different helmets. So thanks for watching, everybody. Click on the Patreon to become a supporter on there. With the support of patrons, I'm able to buy stuff like this and restore old helmets like that to their original glory. And it helps out with ballistic tests on not these helmets. I will never shoot up these helmets, but other helmets like Cold War, Warsaw Pact stuff that we do on the channel, pays for ammo and all that stuff. Anyway, you can read all about it on the Patreon and see some polls, and it's very interactive and such. But yeah, so the supporters help keep the channel going. I self-fund a lot of this, but it really helps when we get some crowdfunding going on. And you guys get something for it, so everyone wins. Yeah, otherwise just like the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any comments or anything you want to talk about, got any questions, you can message me or whatever on Facebook. Mike B, it's my Facebook page for the channel, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you learned something, and we'll see you next time.